Afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tech Data ISV Solution Factory webinar. My name is Marianne Gilmore-Smith, and I'm the Microsoft ISV Manager here at Tech Data UK. I'm going to press straight through to the agenda. We've got a really action-packed hour for you guys. We want to make sure we make the most of it. So kicking off will be myself. I'll be talking to you guys about who are Tech Data and how we can support ISV partners. I'm then going to be handing over to Mr. Paul Veck at Microsoft. He's going to talk you through the Microsoft Marketplace, partner to partner, and scaling up with Microsoft. He's then going to hand over to Paul Hatcher at Tech Data. He's going to be talking to you about what to consider when moving to a SaaS model and how to accelerate your app time to market. Then he's going to be handing over to myself just for a last minute or two to summarise and give a couple of actions off the back of today's webinar. So, who are Tech Data? These are some key pillars around our Tech Data Cloud Solutions business. You may have heard of us before, you may not have heard of us before. Tech Data Synex are the largest global IT distributor. We're also Microsoft's largest global partner, and we're also actually in the top 60 of the Fortune 500. So hearing some of those statements might make you think, why have I not heard of Tech Data? Or, oh, I've done a little bit with Tech Data. And I think it's quite interesting as to why some people haven't heard of us before. And I think this is an interesting point of we are typically invisible to some people, and our customers use us as an arm to their business, and they extend themselves to us and utilize the value add that we can offer to their companies. We hold major contracts with multiple hundreds of different vendors, and we're the true solutions aggregator for all of these solutions. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a little bit more depth later on. One of the main points I wanted to call out on this particular slide, which I think is really important, is the 1,400 cloud employees that we have, which is a huge, huge number. And I think that's important that those guys are focused on our cloud customers' successes. And that's what they're targeted on. And that's what drives them on a day-to-day basis. So we'd love you guys to be one of them. If you're not already one of them, as I said at the very beginning, please reach out if you're interested in hearing any more on Tech Data in itself. I wanted to speak to you guys also around who we are and where we see ourselves in this ecosystem, and how we bring vendors together and what we need to do. And having vendor contracts with hundreds of different suppliers is great, but it's what we do with those that actually really makes the difference, and how we can bundle solutions together and bring ISVs and system integrators and cloud consumers together to really create one true ecosystem and absolutely be a solutions aggregator. So we have to continuously adapt ourselves and what we're doing, and we can't be who we were 5 years ago, even 5 months ago, and we have to lead that change to our customers, to our vendors, to bring everything together and really make a true solutions aggregator. It's something that is in the forefront of everyone's minds that work at Tech Data, and also Microsoft as well, around selling solutions, not selling kit. And I think it's having that shift from where we used to be to where we are now, and where we position ourselves bang in the center of this spider web of different bits and bobs, but it really does truly mean exactly where we are, and it really does bring us together. It allows us to aggregate solutions and deliver across different verticals. And I know if you're familiar with any of our leaders or any of the Microsoft leaders, or if you're familiar with any of the other webinars that we've hosted, everyone speaks about ISV and everyone speaks about Tech Data being a true solutions aggregator. And we'd love for you guys to see how we do it, and we'd love to tell you more. And I wish we had hours on this webinar so we could go into more detail. So as I say, please do reach out if we can give you some case studies, some examples of what we do. But as I say, this is the absolute forefront of everyone's mind that's connected to Tech Data and working with Microsoft also. I mentioned earlier on today around the partners that we work with, and loads of different things that we can add to our partners, and why we are invisible to end customers and what our customers use us for. And I appreciate this slide is very wordy, and I would not expect anyone to read every single part of it, but please feel free to take a screenshot of this. And these are some of the services that our customers utilize us for. And I've got one particular case study example that really shouts out to me when I was looking through this slide deck, and the cloud management and orchestration element. And I've got an ISV that I work with at the moment, and we've worked with for the last God knows how long, and maybe 20 years plus. And over the last couple of years, they built a solution. They wanted to take it to market, probably similar to where you guys are or where you guys were. The company name's Labs, and they've built a solution called IA Cloud, which is a fantastic solution. They have used our cloud management platform to allow them to not have to build one themselves and to move that budget way further forward than they ever anticipated doing it, to build that solution and build new revenue streams for themselves, to scale out into the Microsoft marketplace, to scale out into the tech data ecosystem. And that's truly so valuable that they were in the position to be able to do that. And you'll see, if you follow that particular company and their COO, Gareth Mayer, who speaks about on podcasts and webinars and loads of different events that he attends with us around what that made his company, and how Tech Data were a true solutions aggregator, and they allowed him to develop his company way sooner than they originally anticipated. So that's not just one of the, well, that is one of the main elements that we could support you guys on, but there are so many different elements of what we can do here. Pre-sales, solutions, ecosystems, training, certifications, the list is endless. I could probably give you 100 examples of each of these individual pillars. But as I say, please take a snippet of these. If any of these are of interest to you, please reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation and go into more depth and give you a bit of an explanation around how all of these work. It's not just these that we can help you guys with. Financial services, I know, is mentioned up here as well. We can provide marketing support. We do educational workshops. I've attended some of these and hosted some of these, and they are truly game-changing for our ISV partners. They are brilliant. They are informative. It changes the way people think. And we're in a great position where we've taken so many solutions into the market through our different vendors, through multiple different vendors. And we'd love to share that advice with you guys on what we've learned over the many years of doing this, and how we've made it a true success. So a last couple of statements from myself, and I mentioned this earlier on around our execs and our leaders and Microsoft's leaders and collectively what their focuses are. And I absolutely guarantee, if you watch any event, if you watch any webinar, if you attend any event now that we can, they will be talking about ISVs. And they're not just talking about them, it is at the forefront of their focuses. And that's why we are so focused and insistent on helping ISV partners, helping innovators really support their solutions and scaling out their businesses. So we've got pre-built programs that will allow you guys to develop, allow you guys to connect with people, span across our ecosystems, join a community and join events that can bring together like-minded people that are in the same boat as you guys. You can get some advice from other people. And there's so many different bits of access that you can get from working with Tech Data. And we'd love to show you exactly what you can get. So just before I hand over to Mr. Paul Veck, I just wanted to really quickly highlight our Fast Track, Elevate and Impulse purpose-built solutions. There is no limit with an ISV of where you are in your journey, whether it's you are fully built and you've been transacting for years and years and you want to support with Tech Data's go-to-market services and you want to be networked, we can absolutely help you. We can also help you if you yesterday thought of an idea that you want to start putting together. We can absolutely help fast track you on your journey. So there is no limit. Everyone will sit somewhere within this bracket, and I'm hoping that one of you guys or all of you guys will want to hear more about some of these services that we have to offer. Please reach out. Please contact myself, Paul, Katerina, any of your wider team, and we'd love to help you guys. If you have any more questions, reach out to me on LinkedIn, reach out to me in the contact details that are provided. Thank you so much, and I will hand over to Mr. Paul Veck.
Thank you very much. So my name is Paul Veck. I work in Global Partner Solutions, focused on helping software companies be successful with Microsoft, help them innovate in our cloud, but also help them go to market via our channels like Marketplace, Partner to Partner, and even co-selling. So as Satya Nadella says, the pandemic forced about 2 years of innovation in about 2 months. And this is just continuing to accelerate as software embeds itself into every corner of every business. If you think about the world in 2030, tech as a percentage of GDP is predicted to double from 5 to 10%. But the most notable of this is what happens at the 90%, the other 90% that customers that you and I talk to have to transform. So this pace of change means that increasingly customers are turning to new ways of purchasing and interacting with software companies, like B2B marketplaces, essentially, to help them manage their portfolio and streamline their vendor management. So firstly, as an introduction, this is Satya Nadella, the man himself, the Microsoft CEO. And Satya spends a lot of time talking to ISVs themselves because they're very important to us, but also spends a lot of time talking to ISVs to our customer base as well, because they're an important part of our industry narrative. So when we talk to our customers or interact with our customers, we don't just want to represent Microsoft's first-party services like Azure and Office 365, for example. We want to include the partners that are on our platform as well, software companies that use Azure, for example, to really flesh out that industry narrative as part of that. And a good example of some of the work we did around that is last year we worked with a lot of healthcare software companies that use our cloud to map out a patient journey. And this is something now that our sales teams in healthcare can talk to their healthcare customers about, NHS trusts, essentially, about the patient journey and how our software companies can help NHS trusts transform every step of the way. All that work is on LinkedIn, and please check that out. There's three ways that we look to work with software companies, or ISVs, as we call them, or three main pillars, essentially. Firstly, we're very focused on how we work with our customers to help them successful. And how we do that is by engaging them with ISVs that will help them digitally transform along that journey. Just think about what I said around the patient journey piece as well. And that's a key part of the partner success element as well. So when we work with partners or software companies, we think about how we can help them optimize on cost, help them innovate in our cloud, but also then how can we help them be successful by connect them into our customer base to help our customers transform as well. And then lastly, obviously, we're focused on Microsoft success. Hopefully that's not a surprise to anybody. But the basic equation here is that if we work with our customers to help them be successful, work with our partners or software companies to help them to be successful, and they land on Microsoft Cloud, that ultimately is going to drive our success as well. So it really is that virtuous circle. So another key point here is we're not just talking about Azure. So thousands of ISVs use Azure to host their solutions, but the full Microsoft Cloud stack is a key part of the equation. A key part of our proposition, essentially, for ISVs is that we have all of these other cloud platforms that ISVs can use and are also being used by our industry customers. So a good example of that is Microsoft 365, a behemoth in the modern workplace segment, used by millions of customers globally. And lots of ISVs want to integrate technically into the solutions because their customers are asking them to do that. For example, they might have to integrate into Outlook or Word, for example. But increasingly, they're also looking at ways that they can leverage this install base that Microsoft have to reach new customers, to win new business, essentially. And a good example of that is Teams. So Teams, fastest growing product in Microsoft history, I'm continually told by my Teams colleagues, with over 250 million active users. And that's used extensively by organizations. There's a very deliberate motion we run there to help software companies who run in Azure build applications in Teams as well that enables them to differentiate and win new customers who use Teams, which a lot of organizations do now, thanks to the pandemic. Another good example in this space is Dynamics 365, so Microsoft's business application stack, which think about CRM solutions, ERP solutions, all of those sort of great things. And Dynamics is now built cloud natively in Azure, which means that there's a common data service that ISVs can tap into, obviously with their customers' consent, and utilize their customers' data to enhance their own applications and deliver more value and insight back to the customers themselves. So when we talk about the Microsoft proposition, we're not just talking about Azure here, we're talking about the entire cloud stack, and that includes GitHub, that includes Power Platform, that even includes LinkedIn, which is a great solution to reach new customers, but also hire new talent as well. So the basic proposition we have when we work with software companies is, firstly, we look to help them build in Microsoft Cloud. Like I said, how can we help them optimize cost, modernize our applications, innovate in terms of utilizing some of those new services like data and AI, for example. That's stage one. And we have great programs and great partners like Tech Data who will help them on that journey. Secondly, then is how can we then work with them to build that go-to-market strategy? And finally, how can we help then co-sell with them and actually reach new customers? So Microsoft have this strategy essentially. It starts with marketplace, our business-to-business marketplaces, and it's all about helping organizations or software partners publish to Microsoft's product catalog once and then sell through direct and CSP channels. So there's one marketplace and two storefronts, AppSource and Azure Marketplace. Both are business-to-business marketplaces. AppSource is focused more on the business persona, and then Azure Marketplace is more focused on the IT persona, CIOs, IT directors, and those sort of roles. The commercial marketplace is core to Microsoft's partner strategy, and we want to surface up the market-leading, market-making software organizations and services solutions to our customers in whatever way our customers want to purchase, via website, in product, via our sellers, or even via partners themselves. And this is increasingly becoming important for marketplaces. As you can see here, there's going to be a real shift in terms of how enterprise organizations want to buy partner solutions, essentially. There'll be a real shift. By 2030, the industry will be worth $7 trillion. And ultimately, at the moment, a large percentage of that goes through resale. That will go down to about a third, but marketplaces will then increase up to a third as well. And finally, another third will go direct as well. So marketplaces are becoming critical to how our customers want to buy. So how we help ISVs deliver customers increasingly complex digital transformation needs is through the commercial marketplace. So with the commercial marketplace, you can build apps for every customer need with a Microsoft Cloud. You can acquire customers once and then grow your footprint worldwide. And it also gives you access to the largest distribution channel, not just from a commercial perspective, but also from a technical perspective as well. And that's really important because a lot of the partners we talk about can help software companies win new business, but they can also help them develop their solutions technically as well. They're experts in those areas. So the commercial marketplace is the engine to drive that connection between our partners and customers and help our customers transform to get the solutions they need, essentially. So our centralized catalog offers about 30,000 apps and services. We have about 4 million odd business shoppers who come to marketplace every day to fulfill and their software needs, essentially. So transacting a marketplace is also the first step around work with Microsoft on co-selling. And co-selling is a differentiator for Microsoft. And now the commercial marketplace is central to our partner strategy. So ultimately, it first starts with helping software companies get transactable in our marketplace so they can reach these 4 million odd active shoppers on a monthly basis. 95% of Fortune 500 organizations buy through marketplace. Apparently, it's a real place where we want our enterprise customers and our mid-market customers to come and buy partner solutions. So that's stage one. Stage two then is once they're transactable in our marketplace, it means that 90,000 of our biggest partners or cloud solution provider partners or CSPs, as that was abbreviated to, can automatically, if the software company so wishes, if they allow this, can resell them on their own marketplaces as well. So the whole point here is that you're not just scaling through Microsoft's marketplace, you're also scaling through our partners' marketplace as well. And some of those partners will be very interesting to you in terms of the industries that they focus on or the geographies that they sell into as well. And lastly, when you've done $100,000 worth of sales in marketplace, software companies can then apply to become co-sell ready, which is where Microsoft salespeople are incentivized to work with them. And we've got 15,000 field sellers globally to help that happen. So this program is in market. It's been in market for a while. It's driven about $22 billion worth of partner revenue since its inception. And I think 170,000 deals or leads essentially have been shared during that time as well. So the whole point here is we help our software companies reach new customers. So ISVs can utilize the scale of Microsoft's marketplace from both a business software to reach new customers on a global basis. The whole point is that we help ISVs scale globally here. So The marketplace itself serves 141 different geographies, 17 different currencies. We manage the tax affairs for ISVs in 52 countries. And that's really important because when you sell into a new country, you need to make sure you get the tax affairs correct. Otherwise, there's some serious repercussions potentially in doing that, and having that done for you can be a real benefit as well. So the whole point is we're not just talking about the UK here, we're also talking about globally and the countries that are serviced by marketplace. And the marketplace piece is just continuing to grow. So we're seeing marketplace usage grow 71% year on year effectively. There's a 49% increase in unique publishers within marketplace as well, and that's really important because the richer the marketplace is in terms of the amount of applications and the sort of applications on there, the more likely it is that customers are to go there but also stick around and buy new things as well. And also Microsoft is making a significant investment in marketplace in terms of making it more intuitive and easier to use for publishers, but also as a place where customers want to come to buy partner solutions. That includes work with our sales teams to incentivize them to drive their customers to marketplace as well. So I just want to reiterate that publishing through marketplace is how you sell with Microsoft. And over 99% of our best customers buy through the commercial marketplace, with over 95% of Fortune 500 organizations leveraging commercial marketplace to buy software, essentially. So it's a real place where we want our biggest customers and our mid-market customers as well to go and buy partner solutions. So Microsoft have a massive partner ecosystem. That's obviously not an accident. That is a strategy. We've been working with partners for decades. And ISVs can leverage our partner ecosystem to reach new customers. And according to IDC, there are some very clear benefits in doing that. Partners that adopt this ecosystem business model will grow 50% faster than ones that don't. I guess that's a bit no-brainer. The more you utilize your routes to market, the more successful you will be. So partner to partner links software companies into this global partner ecosystem, and this is a multiplier effect. So Microsoft has thousands of partners specializing across technologies and industries. And linking into this network makes it possible for software companies to access a vastly greater customer ecosystem, including markets that you might not be able to address on your own. The right partnerships open the door to the increased opportunity, but it also aligns with the customer's need. So customers expect partners to be able to drive transformation for them end to end, putting greater emphasis on delivering business outcomes that do deep expertise matters. So it's that end-to-end digital transformation journey that we talked about at the start. That's what customers are looking for. So customers on this digital transformation journey are looking for this highly functional ecosystem to help them. And our partner ecosystem helps address the opportunity by partnering across ISV and services partners and delivering these joint solutions to our mutual customers. So it's a really strong value proposition for both parties here. So for ISVs, that means that you can publish the Microsoft product catalog once and sell through multiple channels, including our global channel cloud solution provider partners, our partner network essentially. Leveraging a channel will help you expand into new markets without requiring a local presence and then accelerate your customer acquisition. For partners themselves, they can grow their catalog of ISV solutions available to their customers. The more they sell, the more they make. It's a basic equation for people who resell solutions. But also that enables them to differentiate over the competition in terms of what they offer. If they offer a rich ecosystem of software companies to their clients, that can be a real differentiator for them. But also they can then add additional services around that, be it deployment or advisory services or what have you, to make additional margin on top of that as well. So there's a really strong value proposition for partners or system integrator partners, but also software companies themselves. So if you joined any of the Inspire sessions in July, that's our annual partner conference. There's one's coming up in this July as well. I think this one's actually in person, which is very exciting for everyone concerned after a few years not being able to do that. But if you did join last July's Inspire, because it was all on demand and remote, then you'll know that the margin for Marketplace now is 3%. It was much more than that previously, but that's a real indication of our strategy in terms of we want Marketplace to be that piece where our customers go to buy partner solutions. We're not looking to put any barriers in the way of that at all. And that's an interesting play, I think, But if you didn't catch those sessions, you can watch them all on demand. Just go to the browser of your choice, put in Microsoft Inspire, and you'll see the sessions available to them. Loads of stuff on Marketplace, loads of stuff on that partner to partner piece, and even co-selling as well. So Marketplace is not just about driving sales to mid-market. Now, ISVs are using Marketplace to find and sell to the biggest organizations from a global perspective. And here we have some examples of that. So Chic IoT, a real David and Goliath story here. A startup at the time landed a huge organization, one of the Fortune 15 customers, and sold to them via Marketplace, essentially a game-changing deal for them. Tgraph, really interesting organization here as well. They get over 500 downloads of their solution on a monthly basis, and now selling to 6 different geographies using Marketplace. Sold to Cerner via the Marketplace as part of that, and so it goes on. Snowflake, big data management organization, which you may have heard of, again sold to Nielsen on the commercial marketplace as well. So we're not just talking about the mid-market organizations here as well. We're talking about some of the biggest enterprise organizations using Microsoft's Marketplace to find and buy partner solutions. And it really links into how we sell to our customers as Microsoft, how we sell our first party solutions to our customers. As an example of that, so, if you've worked with Microsoft before, you'll be familiar with the concept of the enterprise agreement, been around a few decades now. It's how we sell to a lot of organizations, particularly with 500 seats and above, essentially. And software and customers which have these enterprise agreements can use them to buy solutions that are transactable in Marketplace, the Azure Marketplace specifically. So they can just purchase off the Azure Marketplace, and that will get added to their enterprise agreement bill. We then have private offers, and this is really important because this gives the ability for software organizations to sell to customers at different price points. Appreciate that customers are different. One deal will look different to another deal, and Marketplace is flexible enough to enable you to basically have different price points for different customers, essentially a private offer. So you can have one price on the Marketplace, but what you actually sell to a specific customer at will be completely different to that, and you can send them a private offer essentially to do that as well. Standard contract terms, I think is really interesting, particularly for organizations that use Marketplace already to buy solutions. They've already accepted typically these standard T's and C's that enable software companies to use them as well, and just come in on the back of that to simplify that purchasing process. So rather than going to that legal back and forth, which is highly frustrating for everybody concerned, if you don't have to use them. If you do use the standard T's and C's within Marketplace, that can hopefully accelerate that deal and reduce the legal pain involved in selling your solution. Another interesting bit as well. So on that go-to-market piece we talked about previously, where you start at Marketplace, work with partners, go to co-sell. The bit after that is really interesting. So for partners that are transactable on Marketplace, but also get to co-sell ready, something really interesting happens. So a very popular way for Microsoft now to sell to customers, excuse me, is using Azure commit agreements, or to give them their full name, Microsoft Azure consumption commitment agreements. It's where a customer makes a commitment to Microsoft Azure, typically over a period of 1 to 3 years, and we may give them a discount for doing that. So these things are very popular now, and it's contractualized, right? So it's a legally binding document. The reason why that's interesting to software companies is if they sell on Marketplace and are also co-sell ready, it enables them to tap into this latent Azure budget effectively. So they can call off the full value, or the customer can call off the full value of their solution, of the software company solution when bought through Marketplace against their Azure commit agreement that they've made to Microsoft. So software companies love it because it can really streamline that purchasing process and enable them to tap into that Azure budget piece and accelerate deals. Customers themselves love it as well because they've made a commit to Microsoft that they're now looking to utilize to get that discount. And Microsoft salespeople love it as well because it enables them to introduce partners into their customers that will help burn down that Azure commitment that the customer has made as well. So it's a real powerful way for software companies to accelerate their sales into the enterprise space. There's lots of benefits associated with Marketplace, and there's lots of ways to interact with Marketplace as well. You can list your solution on Marketplace, which is more of a contact me style solution. it's fair to say all of the focus and good stuff that we've talked about is focused on partners who transact on marketplace. So that's where the focus is in terms of driving sales. And that's the sort of the start of that go-to-market journey that we mentioned previously. So with marketplace rewards, the more that you sell through marketplace, the more rewards you get, essentially. So just as an example of that, I'm not going to go through all of this slide, don't worry. But the moment that you publish your solution on marketplace, that enables you to do some really good stuff. For example, do a press release with a Microsoft quote, just to amplify again and try and get some media attention for your product and how you're working with Microsoft. And there's various other bits and pieces associated with that. At the top end of the scale, then there's lots of other things we do in terms of helping partners by doing dedicated blogs. So when they've sold a certain amount, we'll actually do a dedicated blog that we release via partners Microsoft channels to help amplify their solutions. There's even a Microsoft executive event endorsement, for example, as well, and social promotion spotlight. So lots of different things we look to do to help partners sell more to their customer base and our customer base. From a sales perspective then as well, again, there's stuff we look to do. So at the top end of the spectrum there, we look to organise calls with Microsoft salespeople in the relevant industries the software companies sell into, again, so they can understand what the value proposition is, what the pain points are, and why the customers that they speak to on a daily basis will need that software. Again, the whole point of that is it looks to drive that co-sell motion that I talked about earlier on. The last slide I'll talk about very, very quickly is Microsoft have just released a program in the UK. It's in pilot, actually. It's called the ISV Success Program. Just an example of some of the benefits available to UK-based software companies here on the screen here. So, $128,000 worth of retail value, which includes, free licensing for Visual Studio, for example, Microsoft Azure, various other bits and pieces, but also some real help in terms of getting partners transactable on marketplace as well. So I encourage you to sign up for that. And if you're interested in anything that we talked about today, then please reach out to us. The alias for the UK team is isvuk@microsoft.com. And also we've got a UK ISV LinkedIn group, which you can join. You can see the smart link on the screen there. So please, if there's any more information you require any of this today, or would just like to connect in with the Microsoft UK team that's focused on ISVs, please connect into those links on the screen now, and we look forward to speaking with you. So that's it for me. So just remain to say thank you very much for your time today, and yeah, look forward to speaking to you moving forward.
Thank you, Paul, for your presentation. My name is Paul Hatcher. I work for Tech Data, and I'm responsible for designing and operating the cloud professional and managed services that Tech Data provides across Europe to help our partners, our Microsoft partners, grow. And I'm genuinely excited to have this opportunity to talk to a wide audience about our solutions factory model that we've built specifically to help independent software vendors, ISVs, take their businesses to the next level. As you've heard from Paul, your choice of cloud platform will have a big impact on your business's potential, determining the size of the opportunity for leveraging additional channels to scale your SaaS business. And for all ISVs, it's a journey and an evolution where first you must ensure the modernization of your application architecture, and secondly, power your subscription-based business model with a partnership with the distribution and vendor ecosystems. Our solution factory model supports you in this journey. But before we dive into the various services and solutions that Tech Data offers, let's have a look at the technical elements of a mature SaaS application and how not considering each of these elements and designing for them specifically would hinder your application performance and impact your costs and your subsequent success. So looking at a modern SaaS application, there are 5 key elements to ensuring an optimized solution. Firstly, you will need to avoid providing each end customer with a dedicated deployment of your software stack. So one of the first things to consider is the ability to build service layers that can be shared among each of your customer tenants, whilst maintaining the security and segregation requirements that apply to the database layer, for example. Secondly, then, scalability. The infrastructure you use for building your SaaS platform is very important. Beside the high availability provided by cloud platforms, there's another step you can take by moving away from the virtual machine-based infrastructure and adopting container-based architectures, for example, which allow you to spin up and spin down instances, which can be fundamental for enhanced scalability. Next, then, multi-tenant SaaS designs allow you to offer flexible consumption-based models to your customers that make them easy for enterprises to buy and consume. And this model also makes it easy for you to tailor your subscription models to different types of enterprises or users with associated pricing models. And it also enables you to squeeze more efficiency out of your IT resources. You can optimize costs, focus on value added services layered on top of the application itself. And the pace of your innovation, the time it takes you to get fixes and new features to market, will affect the perception of your business, your solution by your users, and your ability to compete in a competitive marketplace. By adopting modern cloud infrastructure elements for your SaaS app, you'll speed up the innovation cycles and focus on continuous delivery of new or enhanced functionality. So as part of your design of your multi-tenant architecture, it becomes fundamental to consider how you will deploy updates efficiently and regularly and avoid unnecessarily lengthy manual deployment and test cycles. All of these decisions will add up to affect your customer experience, but it's also a critical component of success to consider how you engage and support your end customers post-sale. Customer loyalty and retention will be affected by how well supported their needs are as they learn to use and adopt your solution. So building upon these 5 key elements of a modern SaaS application, our services have been designed to provide our partners with an accelerated approach to app modernization. And it's important to understand that we can support you whatever maturity stage your product is currently at. So we have a proven modernization process and provide recommendations based upon our expertise and the cloud providers' frameworks, the Azure well-architected framework as an example, on how to earn the badges required to publish your application into the cloud provider marketplaces and open a new sales channel for your business. Tech Data helps you identify the required changes to your cloud infrastructure and application. We can also assist with the remediation of those technical gaps. And in summary, we can quickly take your solution to the maturity stage required to be listed in the Microsoft marketplace. So where would you start? Well, we've built 4 tracks that serve as entry points for your journey with Tech Data, and where you start depends upon the current state of your solution. The first 2 tracks are focused on validating and then optimizing your technical solution. If your solution is still on-prem or only partially migrated, this is the place to begin. However, if you have already taken advantage and adopted cloud-native services, the second 2 tracks are dedicated to scaling your software business through an ecosystem while optimizing your infrastructure costs. So next, I'll talk a little bit more in detail about the services included in each track. Fast Track is a relevant starting point for legacy architectures that are not currently on cloud. So first, we assess your current technical solution, and that leads to a cloud design that is suitable for your business objectives. The first step after reviewing it with you is to rehost your application onto Azure. Elevate is the relevant offering for applications that have been migrated to Azure, but have opportunity for optimization of the application to meet those principles of a multi-tenant architecture we just talked about. And of course, sometimes it's necessary for code to be rewritten in order for it to run as a native cloud app. And if you aren't able to or don't want to do this yourselves, it's possible for you to use our redesign services to achieve this. Impulse is for partners who already have a working solution in Azure and are just looking to generate more leads. We can assist you with our go-to-market quick scan and services where we analyze possible bundling options and use our worldwide tools and network to sell your solution to other partners. Each track includes the onboarding on the Microsoft CSP program, giving access to special channel conditions, licensing optimization, and guidance on how best to leverage Microsoft technical and go-to-market programs. Tech Data's mission is to help our partners grow. We only succeed when you succeed. And the ISV program I've talked about now is just one of the many ways in which Tech Data aims to help grow your business. We offer extensive access to technical pre-sales resources, tools that automate the deployment of third-party software onto Azure, classroom and self-paced technical and commercial education for your staff. And our services portfolio spans not just the full Microsoft Cloud domain of Modern Workplace, Azure, Dynamics, and Power Platform, but we also provide professional and 24/7 managed security and data center services for our partners to consume and resell. I wanted to leave you with the feedback from two software companies we've recently partnered with. Firstly, Ardian, who, using our Fast Track program, we took on a full ISV journey from on-prem to a listing on the Azure Marketplace. Please look them up. And secondly, Haycom, who had a marketing listing on the Microsoft Marketplace, but for whom we optimized the design of their infrastructure, making it highly scalable, and subsequently created a transactable listing of their solution and exposed them to the full Tech Data channel ecosystem. So in summary, we have an extensive, well-tested program to accelerate ISV growth. And I really hope you found this interesting. If so, please reach out to me or my colleagues if you'd like to learn more. And on that note, I will pass you back to Marianne. Thanks very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate that. So final 3 comments from me just to close out the webinar. So I'm hoping that everything we've presented and showed you guys really proves the dedication that we have to supporting you guys as ISVs innovate through Microsoft. Thank you, Paul. Really appreciate the pitch that you did there. It was really informative. Thank you again. Something I mentioned earlier on in the presentation, it does not matter where you are, whether you have a brand new solution, whether you've been taking this to market for the last couple of years, we have a purpose-built solution that we have for you guys that we can absolutely help you deliver that to new verticals and help you scale your solution. And finally, I think we've mentioned it a couple of times, please come and talk to us. We really want to talk to you guys. We want to show you more detail around what we have to offer. We've got our details on the left-hand side here. So please do, again, take a screenshot, reach out to us. We're really looking forward to engaging with you. Any questions, please let us know. And thank you so much for your time again. It's really appreciated. Thank you.